Welcome, everyone. We are live here for the MX5s, ready to get underway here in just a few moments. I want to welcome everybody to tune in. Please bear with me. I don't feel the greatest today. We are live here for the WCS MX5 race once again this week. This is round number 2. Scheduled to get underway here in just a few moments right now. Practice and all that good stuff. We're wrapping up. We got about 2 minutes or so left in practice. So we see some great racing last week. I expect tonight's race to be just as good, if not better. We are from Tabasco, so it should be a very fun place. Of course, there's a look at your schedule. 2 races on schedule for here tonight. We got back-to-back races. 21 laps here in this first race, and then we have another 11-lap shootout for these guys right after this. So basically, they do double races. They actually invert the field on the second race, depending on how they finished. And then they run them off. With that, they only go half the distance of this race. So it should be fun. Definitely interesting. Definitely unique. Because we are set to go here. I'm just checking chat. We're getting ready to start qualifying here in just a few moments. Want to welcome everybody that's joining me in the booth. I'm Adam Chapman here with you tonight. Got a lot of racing here scheduled for tonight on ESPN. Hope everybody's looking forward to that. Tonight we go to Sebring for some more road racing action in the Top Fuel Racing Series. That's going to be fun. That'll be something a little bit different. You guys can tune in and watch me crash the car probably about 30 times before I DQ out of it. But it should be fun. Hope everybody tunes in and watches that. Tomorrow we go to Red Sox Racing League. That's going to be a really good one as well. Some more road racing action. Red Sox Racing League, we will be live from Daytona for the Daytona 30-minute race. Really looking forward to that one. That should be a fun one. Friday night, back-to-back action once again. We go over to the iRacing E-Series for their, I believe we're racing at Daytona, I believe, for the Super Speedway Series. And then right after that, the K&N Series for the Western Super Series will kick off immediately following that. So really looking forward to it, though. I think we're getting some good stuff here. But anyway, ready to go here in about 30 seconds. Qualifying, we'll get started. Adrian Cantfield, we've seen him do really well last week. Expect him to do really well again this week. Want to shout out everybody that's watching. Want to thank everybody for tuning in and watching. Seen Scott Brinson popped on. John Poole. You can watch all these guys in action tonight. Sebring. John Poole, always fast. Hey, Paul Crummer. That's PK. Commenting on the chat. You can see him tune in tonight as well. As kind of a new season still getting underway for the Top Fuel Racing guys. It should be really fun. We'll have to tune in and watch that. You guys just bear with me a little bit. I'm not feeling the greatest, as you can tell. But we are ready to get this race kicked off here. Once again, thanks everybody for tuning in. Todd Chase says, what's up? Todd Chase always comes into the broadcast, winner of the Strictly Street Stock Series Championship. Here to watch some road racing action. MX5. Love this car, by the way. I want to go ahead and just mention that now as we get qualified underway. I'm not going to try to pronounce all these guys' names. Everybody knows I kind of butcher names, so I try not to really say too much. 118-degree track temp. MX5, probably one of my favorite cars. This is the MX5 Cup, but one of my favorite cars to actually road race in. Out of all the races I have won, this might be which is not a lot, I might add. But this is the car that I got most of my road wins in. But it's just a fun car, I think, that a lot of people, when you sign up for iRacing, if you navigate towards the roadside, this is one of the first cars that you run. So, kind of cool to see them back out here on the track here from Tabasco. This is a fun place to drive, too. This track is very unique, very different compared to a lot of places we go. There's your look at the track. As qualifying is underway. 1.2 mile, 12 turns. With that track temp, that's going to be something to be keeping an eye on. 118 degrees at the moment. Cars will be sliding around a little bit. Definitely not surprised, but these cars can handle that. They don't have the as much speed. But here you go, into turn 1. The downshift as he works out of that turn. Done a kind of a straightaway, another left hand to a right hander right here. He's going to speed all the way up. You can see that kind of an S turn all the way around this hard S. And you got another right hand turn where you can actually keep a lot of speed right here if you tap the brakes. You can basically go at almost full speed. You can kind of see it right there how aggressive he was taking that turn. And going up the hill, well, small hill, into our right hand, and then a long straightaway. You actually hop on board, you can actually see. Long straightaway here, and into the final turn, which is a big sweeping right-hander. Very tricky turn. This right here is probably the trickiest turn on the track that these guys are going to face. Very easy to make a mistake. But Nelson going to work off the final turn. Turn 12, cross the start-finish line. Going to put a P1 right now with a 105.772. Mark Bradshaw. Bradshaw a 107.888 will not count. Actually had a off track, it looks like. Oh, it does count. It was just in third place. Here's Adrian Campfield. This is somebody we do got to watch. He was the fastest in practice. Really quick last week as well. I even picked up a win last week in one of the races. We got Mazda number 3. Working down the long back stretch here. About to go into the final corner. Let's see what he can do. Looking to beat a 105.137 as Ferrari Marco jumped up into P1. Exit of turn 12. Coming to the start-finish line. Carried as much speed as you can. Definitely not what he wanted, but it's going to put on top of the board. He was a little bit faster in practice, I believe, but still a good lap of 104.676. Not a bad lap at all there. Go ahead and let me know. I know we got some guys in here from Top Fuel. I already know their favorite cars, but what is everybody else's favorite car to race on the iRacing service? Seeing today that they're actually going to be releasing the new GT4 for the BMW here very soon, so that's going to be really interesting. That's going to be kind of cool. I think my favorite car, and most of you guys are probably going to laugh, in the road side, I think it's the Skip Barber. In the oval side, honestly, I think it might be the Street Stocks. I think they're one of my favorite cars to actually race. I don't know. I could go either way on that. Kirsten, not a good lap on that one. Did not count. I don't think he's going to be able to get this lap in as well. Might be able to. As he works through the S's. Couple guys not qualifying here in this one. That's okay. We got 9 drivers here once again. These guys are kind of new to iRacing. They actually came over from a different sim racing game. I can't remember off the top of my head what it was. But this is our first ever series championship here on iRacing. So it's very awesome to see more guys kind of gravitating this way from other sims. To me, personally, I think iRacing probably the best in my opinion. I think everybody here kind of agrees with that. That's why you're on it. But that's going to be qualifying as Adrian Campfield going to start in P1 here in this one. As we get set to go green. As gridding has begun. This is a standing start. Keep that in mind. Standing starts here. The MX5s. You see one car has already gridded, waiting on a bunch more. That should be popping up. 21 laps, so not a very long race by any means. Long enough for these cars though. Still waiting on the grid. Really, a lot of people still left the grid. Still waiting on that. Also, for people wondering, Saturday, we are back with the Dirt Strictly Street Stock Series. Back there on Saturday. They just opened the registration for their asphalt side of things as well. That will be restarting hopefully sooner. But I think it's set for April. But they just opened that back up as I think we're set to go. 7 cars. A couple guys did not actually grid up, and we are green flag here from Tabasco. And I'm probably butchering how that's said, by the way, but that's how I'm going to say it. Adrian Campfield up front. We see some good battles last week. Right now we do got one back here for the 5th position. As that kind of narrows out quickly. Good file throughout the entire field right now. Listen how much gas they use right here. Really see, not really off the gas very long. You carry a lot of speed into that little corner. Oh, a little bit oversteer. Down through turn 11, down the backstretch. Watch for a big run. Good passing zone right here, as you can see right here. This is a pass for fourth. Hurston trying to take over that spot. Should have the preferred line going into the final corner. And yeah, you see the pass right there on the 26, making the move. 7 moves up now to P number 4. Up to heel. All right, now on board the MX5. Looking at the back end. I absolutely love it. I even like the sound of these cars, honestly. They got that whine to them. I kind of like it. 95 overdrove the corner just a little bit. Does a good job of keeping it, but here comes that number 7 car looking to the inside, trying to take P3. And it looks like, yep, definitely going to take that spot away, move him up to 3rd. Did a good job. He started back in, showing 9th, but he actually started not in 9th. He actually started around, I believe it was like 7th. But he's done a good job of continuing to move forward in this one. So if we can go high above into blimp. Kind of spaced out a little bit here. I'm anxious to see what the 7 can do come into this race time. I think he's quick enough. Looking at lap times, he's definitely quicker than a lot of these guys in front of him, or he was quicker at 2nd last time by anyway. Fifth place. 26 trying to hold on to that. Everybody's still single file right now for the most part throughout the entire field. Check lap times at the line. 104.7, 104.6, and 104.8 that time. Actually, 2nd that time. Ferraro was actually a little bit faster than the rest of the field. Walking through the S's into the left-hand corner. Probably one of my favorite turns is right here. I actually love this turn. It's a fun place to race as well. They had the Skip Barbers here a couple weeks ago. So much fun. See track temp as well. We didn't really take a peek at the weather, but there you go. You can see the wind speed at 10 miles an hour. That is changing a little bit. Right there. See it going up quite a bit. And 16-degree track temp. And right here, the wind should shift to the back end of the car, so it's going to be a little bit different. There you go, see it dropping back down. Pretty interesting to see in the live wind. That's pretty neat. Up front, starting to get some pressure on for our lead. That's the 46, really starting to show it. Marco trying to move up, started in 2nd. Has continued to close the gap back up now, because we're starting to get a little heat in the tires. A little bit of trouble off that corner, but down into turn 11. A lot of wheel input put in that car just now. I noticed that one. To the final corner. You see the back end want to step out a little bit from Marco. That's one thing about this corner. It really I don't know, but something about that corner kind of frees up the car quite a bit. The back end really feels really light, even in a Skip Barber and even in these. It feels like there's not really any grip at the back end of the car. That's one thing I've noticed racing here, especially in that final corner. You really notice it. One thing I'll say about these guys, I watched them last week as well. First time I ever broadcast them was last week. Was how much respect that they actually showed for each other on the racetrack. That is one cool thing that kind of stood out to me about this league. That kind of stood out was how impressive these guys was near each other. Like they wasn't trying to, bump or bang or anything like that. And you can do that in these cars a little bit more, but it wasn't bad. I mean, it was actually really fun watching them. Campfield still leading the way. Coming down to that left-hander. See if we can hop on board and listen here. How much gas is he using going in? You can see, not off the gas very long. A lot of speed carrying into that corner. Going to downshift all the way to second. I don't think he'll drop to first, but we'll see. No, he's going to stay in second. Going to help the car not get a lot of wheel spin on the exit. Going to guess that he downshifts right here in the second as well. May stay in third. Yep, going to stay in third, it looks like. Same as Ferrari right behind him. Up to fourth. It's a good lap of how you see these guys racing around here. Oh, a little bit of grass. That's one thing you cannot do is get too much grass. You'll spin the car around really quick. Up to fourth. Yep, and then he's going down to second right here. Pretty much what I've noticed, you kind of drive it very similar to. Oh, there it goes. Campfield had a hands full. That's going to allow Marco to close up the gap. By a little bit anyway. He didn't really give up as much time as what I thought he would. As we are coming now to a lap number 9, working on the back stretch. Everybody kind of spaced out all the way around right now for the most part. Got the 7 is closing in on the back of the 46. It took him a few moments, a few laps to get up there, but he is closing that gap in. Actually, right now, running faster laps than anybody in the session. Fastest lap right now is with the 46, however, in second place with a 104.666. This is our closest battle right now, so we're kind of just staying with that for the most part. Oh, there they go. What happened here? Marco went around, halfway around anyway. Did he have help? Might have been a slight bit of net code there involved in that one. think Marco kind of overdrove the corner just a little bit. That's going to move Carson up to P number 2 now. But 2 seconds behind. So keep in mind that the next race, right after this one, is only 11 laps. So basically, we would be coming to the white flag in the next race. That's what kind of makes this thing very interesting, is because right after this race, they actually invert the field. So it takes about 5 or 10 minutes for the session to come up. So we do have an intermission that we do not go away from, but something that I'd definitely be watching for the next race is that. Our leader continue to lead away. What we're going to do, guys, is take a quick commercial break as these guys are spaced out just a little bit. And if anything happens, we'll break right back in. We are halfway here in race number 1.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was always fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos or danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all will be kept in the pits. Not to mention that with members in over 130 countries already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series and work your way up to one of 7 world championships, offering over $500,000 in prize money. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.
Coming down to 7 laps to go, still out front, it has been Adrian Campfield out front now for coming to 14 laps. Cross to the start-finish line, 7 laps to go in this one. Kirsten still second. Ferrari and Marco is currently third. top 5. Actually, everybody's pretty much spaced out in this one. This is Canfield's race to pretty much lose now, as long as he does not make a mistake. The 7 is closing in a little bit, so there's still a chance there with 1.6 seconds. Looking at the lap times last time by, the 7 was a little bit faster than our current leader. As we get ready to go into turn number 11. See the distance right here between first and second. As you look down onto the field. It's a pretty good gap right now between both of them guys. 1.3 and counting though, so the gap is somewhat closing for the 7 cars. They exit turn number 11. Let's see, 6 laps to go this time. Checking lap times. That time by 3/10 faster was the 7 car. Kevin Bolin back in 6th. Pretty good gap between him and Mark Bradshaw and the rest of the field. Once again, guys, right after this, second race coming up. See, the gap is closing ever so slightly. Right here's last time by is where we noticed the 7 really gained a lot up on our leader. Let's see how he does here. Working through turns 12 this time. Looks like the gap going to be around the same. They run almost an identical lap time. 7 a little bit faster that time. Just not quite there yet. 5 laps still on the board. Definitely closing in some right there, though. On board with our leader, Campfield. One thing about it, if he starts paying attention to the time, it could cause mistakes on the 3 car. And you kind of see it right there. The gap is closing. We are right around the second now, separating first and second. Coming to 4 laps to go. Next time we cross the line. As you look back at the second place car, trying to close the gap up into the final turn 12, and actually made a little mistake. He's going to help Adrian get the good exit. Looks like he had a little bit better lap this time as well. He did. Everybody's spaced out throughout the field. You can kind of see where everybody's at here on track. We got one more race immediately following this one. It's about a 5-minute delay. And the other server will be up and we will be in there calling that one. No qualifying in that race because they will line up inverted compared to how they started this or how they finished this race. So we will have Campfield at the back of the field along with the 7, the 46. All 3 will be at the back of the field. Right now it will be Mark Bradshaw that will actually be starting on the pole, depending if anybody else shows up. 3 laps to go at the line. You can see the distance right now between first and second has started to grow back out 1.9 and climbing up, possibly 2 seconds. Yep, there it is. 2-second lead right now between first and second. Coming up, 2 laps to go as they got to go through the final corner. Take 2 more trips around this one. Track temp 114 degrees. It's still pretty warm, but car's still handling pretty good, it looks like. There's a look at your second place driver trying to close up on Campfield. 2 seconds right now showing the gap. It's going to be very tough. This is Campfield's race to lose. Campfield coming through turn 11. Coming to the white flag this time by for our driver up front. Kirsten's got to do everything he can if he wants to have a chance to win the first race here tonight. Off turn 12, white flag going to be in the air. It's time for the 3. He was the winner last week as well. Seeing he'll pick up a win. Everybody's still spaced out super far behind them. Up front, Campfield has extended that lead now to 2.3 seconds. Kirsten may just not be pushing as hard now, knowing he's going to get that invert spot. He'll be starting in front of the 3 next time. Final time off turn 10, looking at the straightaway into turn 11. Down the backstretch into the longest part of the track, or the fastest part of the track, that is, through turns 12. And Adrian Campfield is going to work off turn 12, pick up race number 1 here from Tabasco, as well as Kirsten going to finish in second. Marco working through the final turn. He is going to finish in P number 3. You can see a look here as Nelson working off the final turn, P4. P5 goes to the 26. I don't want to butcher the name, so I'm not going to try to say that. Kevin Ballin trying to close the gap up and finish in 6th. And Mark Bradshaw, as long as Ballin don't make a mistake. And Mark Bradshaw will finish in P number 7. So that is heat race number 1. Congratulations to Campfield, picked up another win here. What we're going to do, take our intermission. We'll be back for race number 2 here in just a few moments. It is a little bit less time. It is only 11 laps, I believe, in the second race. So a little bit less of a race, but should be fun, especially with the invert and all that good stuff. So what we'll do, guys, we'll take a quick break. We will be right back right after this. Welcome back. Ready to get race number 2 kicked off here from Tabasco Speedway. Should be another good race. WCS MX5. Ready to go. If you haven't had a chance to check out the schedule, there you go. It is live now. If anybody is interested in joining, make sure you check these guys out. They race every Wednesday. As you can see, next week we will be live from Laguna Seca. That's going to be an interesting week. Then on February 12th, Summit Point, Okayama, and then February the 26th, it is live from the Roval. So if anybody is interested, message me here at ESBN, and we'll get you set up with these guys. They are a really great group of guys. I'm going to be honest. It is fun watching them race. And I say that about a lot of the leagues that we broadcast, but I do feel personally, when I say that, I really mean some of the guys that we broadcast, in my opinion, some of the best, honestly. I don't say that lightly, so. There has been some, though, that I've said it's not that good. But anyway, another story for another time. Practice here about ready to wrap up. So what's curious about this, what's interesting about this one, is that this field will actually invert compared to where they finished last time. So that's what makes this kind of unique, I think, in a way. And please excuse me, guys. I'm not feeling the greatest today, as you guys can probably tell. I'm not sure if I'm getting the flu or what it is, but I do not feel that great. But anyway, enough about me. Let's get this race started. Track temp has cooled down a little bit. 93 degrees compared to where it was earlier at 100 and, what was we at? Like 112. Wind speed has died down a little bit as well. You see it kind of gusting around 6 miles an hour. Maybe go up a little bit further here and there, but pretty good track temps and track weather here today, for this race. Of course, this race is only half the distance of the first race that we ran, so it's not the full 21 laps that we previously ran. It is only, I think, 11 or 12. I'm waiting to see whenever it pops up. We'll have to wait and see. We got about 50 seconds. There is no qualifying here in this one as well. They just straight grid and we straight race. So, same guys in here as last time. We got 7 drivers in here. We had 9 at the other practice, but a couple of them not showing up. Not sure why, but it is what it is. So if you are interested in road racing, check these guys out. The MX5, very familiar car here on iRacing. A lot of you guys have had experience driving this car. If you're ever done road, you've driven this car because this is one of the first cars that you actually get to race. So here we go. Got about 15 seconds before we start gridding up. Looking right now, so the 7 was actually fastest, or one of the fastest in the last race. He finished second. Adrian Campfield finished first. See where all this grid up starts to happen. As we get set to start gridding for race number 2, you see the practice coming to an end. And it is scheduled here as we get set to go. Cars are starting to grid up. Yeah, Adrian Campfield going to be starting in 7th place. Kirsten and going to be starting in 6th. Marco going to be starting in 5th. And our leader in this one is starting off is Mark Bradshaw, going to be rolling off in P1. So, really good thing with the invert. I'm actually a big fan of this. So, we are set to go. I was waiting on a couple cars, I think, to grid. Or are we ready to go? Do we not have 7 grid up? I guess not. It looks like Mark Bradshaw and Kevin Ballard not here. So there's basically a 5-car sprint, 14 laps. As we jump up front. And looks like Nelson going to be able to take advantage of it. Battle right now going to be for second. Adrian Campfield and Marco. Campfield looking to the outside. Not going to be able to do much about it yet. Probably right around. Let's see how he does down to turn 10. That's really what I want to see if he can get a run on. The 7 had a little bit of trouble getting a good start here as well. Watch Campfield right here as he exits turn number 10. trying to get the run down the straightaway. This is the fastest part of the circuit. Only 5 cars in this race, so not the biggest field by any means. Working out down to the S's now. Actually surprised right now that the 7 has not really made up a lot of time. Karsten back in 5th right now, trying to put a pass on right here. Here's a look at that. He battles the 26. Watch for a crossover going to the next corner. Trying to figure out a way to get around, looking to the outside. Watch for the exit. That's what's going to be really important here. Very tough place to pass right now. Up front for our lead. Marco trying to take that top spot away. Not going to be able to do it. You see the 7 as well. Trying to take away 4th position to the inside of the 26 as they exit. Still evened up. And there you go. Karsten does take away the 4th spot. Single file all the way throughout the field right now. Adrian Campfield trying to close the gap up. Trying to take away 2nd spot. I'm just surprised how much will it put. You see the 95 going a little wide down the backstretch. That is going to open up the door for Marco to try to get a run down the backstretch into turn number 12. Of course, if you're not familiar, there you go. 1.29 miles. Very close racing up front. As you see the 46, Marco coming out with the lead. A little bit of contact there between the 95 and the 8 of Campfield. Campfield's going to peek to the inside here on the 46. Not going to be able to get it. Don't know why it shows Mark Bradshaw as our current leader, by the way. Kind of strange. See if we can reset our live time in here. About to take just a second, guys. Apologize for that. Campfield may take a peek to the inside right here going into the final corner. He is driving underneath. Will he be able to get there? Don't think he's going to be able to complete this pass just yet. That 46 using that momentum on the outside line should be able to hold on to it. I think it's a little wide across the start-finish line. He was able to lead that lap, but Adrian going to have the advantage going into turn 1 as Marco's going to have to give up the lead maybe as they exit turn number 1. You also see that Kirsten was able to grab 3rd away just a moment ago. Basically kind of like a remake that we've seen of the last race that we just had. Now with Campfield out in front. Marco currently still 2nd. Everybody single file for the most part now. Nobody really put any pressure on anyone. all 5 of these guys are within we'll call it 3 seconds of each other. Carson trying to make up a lot of time as they work off that corner, going up turn number 9 into turn 10 this time, or turn 11 this time. I'm super surprised by how much wheel input they're actually using this car. You've seen it right there. That person had a little bit of trouble in the center of that corner. Actually had to get off the gas quite a bit, not to go too wide out. So far, 2 lead changes in this one. We are starting to space out just a little bit, guys. We're going to take our final break because I got to get something from my throat. So I'll be right back right after this.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was always fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos or danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight, and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all will be kept in the pits. Not to mention that with members in over 130 countries already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series, and work your way up to one of 7 world championships, offering over $500,000 in prize money. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.
Back here in this one, battle right now going to be for second spot, as you are seeing Kirsten put some pressure on the 46. Coming to 6 laps to go as they work out of turn 12. Looking to the inside, going up the hill. This is on board with Marco. You see right there on your screen the 7 car. Marco does a really good job in that turn. You kind of see where he's faster at and where he's not. Here comes the 7 looking to the inside, going into turn 10. A little bit of contact as they work off turn number 11. Down the back stretch they go. Not a lot of room being given. Let's take a look at that replay. As they went into this turn number 11, 7 definitely was there. The 46, not a lot of room given. But he does a good job holding it off for now. Taking a peek back to the inside. Door going to get closed once again. This is exactly what Adrian Campfield wants to see. He wants to see these guys battling back here. He's continuing to check out over this field. 1.3 seconds. Also a battle going on back for 4th. Nelson right now battling the 26 for that spot. Kind of just watching this battle right now for second place. Not really much else to watch at the moment, so we're kind of just watching this one. Best lap of the race so far is on the 7 with a 104.200. Good lap there. Coming to 3 laps to go next time by. You see the gap has kind of separated all 3 of these cars just a little bit. The 7 trying to close in. Right here is where I feel like Kirsten's better than everybody. Right to this middle section of the track, the more technical part, I feel like he's definitely better. If the 7 gets a run down the straightaway, they have closed back in on Campfield. Into the final corner. 46 getting a little bit of that curb. May send him out a little bit wider. Not going to be a problem. Right here's your chance for the 7. Karsten getting a good run through the final or through turn number 11. May have a chance. 46 going to put a little bit of a block on. Into turn 12 this time. Watch the 7. That's where he really needs to focus at is his exit. Let's see if he can close the gap up. We are coming to 2 to go. Adrian Campfield has won the first race. Trying to pick up the win here in race number 2 as well. Might be a little bit of damage actually on the 7 car. I cannot tell exactly. You see a little bit of damage right there. I think that there may be some on the 46 as well. No, not really. Campfield still leading right now by about 0.6. Coming to the white flag to go. This is going to be an exciting finish. I think you're going to have to overdrive some of these corners and possibly get to the back bumper of the 8 and try to move him up the racetrack to have a chance. Coming through turns 12. White flag going to be out in the air this time. Not sure if Marco's going to have a chance to get there into turn 1. He drives it in pretty deep. See if he gets a good exit. Yeah, he definitely closed the gap up a little bit going out. Through the S's. Downshifting down to 2nd into the left-hand corner. He's going to have a couple more chances here to do this. One of them being coming up right here. Into turn number 11, he'll have a chance. And then the final turn 12. Through turns 10, up to turn 11. Karsten going to drop to the outside. Watch one of this. Somebody's got to overdrive this corner. 7 looking way down. Getting a block put on all the way down to the grass. 7 looking to the way outside. Adrian Campfield looking to the final turn. We're kind of watching this battle for 2nd. Campfield is going to win this one in race number 2. 2nd place going to go to Marco. Big win once again for Adrian Campfield. Congratulations on his win. As these guys finishing 1st, 2nd, 3rd. Marco finishing in 2nd. And the 7 probably not too happy here, but does a good job of holding on to 3rd place. Marco does a really good job of defending that 2nd position. Congratulations to him. These guys starting to do some slips and slides. But that is going to do it for us here tonight, guys. Tonight, back on ESPN, Top Fuel Racing Series live from Sebring. Hopefully I'll be there. I feel like junk right now. But sorry if I wasn't the most entertaining host here tonight. Just really under the weather. But hope everybody enjoyed the broadcast. We'll be back tomorrow as well for the Red Sox Racing League. But tonight, Top Fuel Racing League. Make sure y'all check it out. Congratulations once again to Adrian Campfield. Y'all have a great day. God bless.